photographed the front of the building. They photographed the other side where there's a side door. But for whatever reason, they didn't photograph the back. They didn't photograph the access road that's in the back.
And that's right next to the salt shed too, right? Did they photograph around the salt shed at all well?
They did photograph the salt shed.
Really?
Yeah. They even went in, and they did go into the dumpster, but I'm sorry. There are photographs of the dumpster, but it's just, I think when they're actually like finding stuff in the dumpster, they're photographing it. And again, generally, when you're looking at a crime scene, you want long, medium, short shots. You want shots before you start monkeying with anything. And the only photos you're getting are like close-up photos of, here's a bottle, here's a towel with blood on it.
Right.
So you have no idea where was it located prior to you monkeying with it.
So a couple of things that stuck out to me with absolutely zero law enforcement experience, but I do watch a lot of TV.
CSI.
I was shocked that one, the property wasn't locked down and interviews weren't conducted at a police station or something just anywhere else, rather than even in the fire station that could have been evidence of a murder, right? Because ultimately any of those buildings could have been used for cover, parking a vehicle, etc. Especially at 8 a.m. at the beginning of this crime scene, you have no idea.
Correct.
All you know is there's blood there. I would want all that locked down, that whole piece of property. In my opinion, I don't know if that's like standard or if that's not what would normally happen, but that's what I would think. I definitely wouldn't have let people walking around there because even at that point, tires.
Contamination.
It's a gravel driveway, gravel parking lot. It might not have been at that point. I don't know. It's not now, but back then I think it was still gravel, essentially all around there.
Correct.
But you could have got tire tracks, you could have got boot prints or shoe prints or anything, right? Or even blood. Because let's be honest, if there was blood that was all along the side and you drove over it, those rocks all get turned over, spread around, and anything can change it, right? Okay, so that's the first thing I would say is like really weird. 2, photos, all that aspect. The other thing is, and I think I heard you mention this, every time you watch TV, there's like the little people that go around and put the little yellow things next to all the pieces of evidence.
Markers, yes.
And there could be 30, there could be 300 depending on the scene, right? Because you might find a little speck of blood on the room next, and even though it might not be related to this, you still photograph it and sticker it or whatever. So that was the other thing. And then the third thing was, did they run like fingerprints on every door frame? Is that something that would happen in a scene like this? Because I would think any piece of, you want to know every single person who's been in that building.
Yes. So you're going to make me regret not putting a lot more stuff on here. So the crime scene itself, what I found was interesting. Again, you have the 2 sets of photographs, and the way that you can differentiate is one set of photographs doesn't have the markers and one does. Now, the ones that do, I'm assuming, are BCI's photographs. I shouldn't say I assume. I have them from public record. Those are the BCI photographs, the ones with the yellow markers. There's ones without. Things are moved by the time. So, like, there's a jacket and a tipped-over chair.
Yeah, the yellow jacket, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
By the time that it's photographed by BCI, the chair is in a totally different position. The jacket's in a totally different position. So it's really odd because, again, you have the initial photos. I'm hoping was the original scene, or why would you even pick up the chair? Why would you? The chair's not doing anything. Leave the chair where the chair is at. Right. And I don't understand. There's several items, water bottles, things like that have been moved from one set of photos to the other. Again, fueling that conspiracy.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Again, I keep going back to the timeline here. So he arrives at 7:00. 7:26 is when the call to the deputy goes in, but that's also the same time that Costello shows up there. So let's say I owned a small convenience store and I walked in and I walked upon, that scene. Yeah, you come in, oh, golly shucks, what's going on here? Something's not the way I left it. And you have that momentary, pause. But, as a human being, it's pretty easy to identify blood. So now you see, okay, now something isn't right. Like, okay, a chair, a jacket, blood on the wall. So, okay, what exactly is going on here? Was there a party here last night? What is there alcohol bottles? What's going on? But clearly something has happened here, right? So it's not an immediate call to 911. It's a call to a trustee who then shows up at the scene. Then it's a call
with a gun.
Right, with a gun, mind you. Okay, which, okay.
Well, and that's fine. But
yeah. But at the same time, so you have that person. Why would neither one of them say, "Hey, something's going on down here at the township"? You know, whether you're going to call the deputy directly, you're going to call dispatch, or you're going to tell them. So obviously, you know, so that those timestamps. And then at that point, of course, what's the first thing deputy would do when they got there? This is a crime scene. Everybody get the fuck out. And the tape goes up, and nothing happens until your investigators arrive. But now, I guess what we're about to find out is actually no, there was actually a party of more people coming in, and now your entire scene is fucked because you've got it's fully contaminated at that point. It's already contaminated by way of maintenance guy showing up. Like, he's contaminated the scene, and now you need to, you know, mitigate through that. But then you add another person and another person and another person.
The other, so while we're here at the scene, there's another oddity. And again, going back, yeah, okay, fine. For safety, he shows up with a gun. But again, Rick's already telling him, hey, there's a bunch of blood back there. And he chooses to, like, clear, for whatever reason. Again, might not be anything nefarious. I have no idea. But Costello chooses to clear the building with his gun, further contaminating.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that.
Yes. So
he walked through the building with his gun?
Correct. Now, the interesting thing
is Costello a cop, military? No. So he's just a guy at the CCW.
He was, I believe, an EMT for the township at that point.
So just a guy at the CCW shows up on post and he clears the building.